Theorem G20. G is a solvable group, then every subgroup and every quotient group of G is also solvable. So we are given a solvable group G, then we have to prove every subgroup of G is solvable and every quotient group of G is also solvable. Okay, if H is a subgroup of G, so first we take a subgroup of G, then we prove H is solvable. Then first we prove by induction that HI means it is some commutative subgroup of H. So HI is a subset of GI for all I. Corresponding to each I, HI is a subset of GI. First we prove that. We are proving this by induction. So when I is equal to 0, we check this. When I is equal to 0, H naught is equal to H naught by inductive hypothesis. We define commutative subgroup G naught is equal to G, like that H naught is equal to H, and H is a subgroup of G. So H is a subset of G, and G can be written as G naught. So thus we have got H naught is a subset of G naught. So the result for I is equal to 0. Now we suppose that the result is true for I. So H is subset of GI. Then we shall prove the result is true for I plus 1. So H raised to I plus 1. By inductive hypothesis, this commutative subgroup H raised to I plus 1 is HI dash. It is a commutative subgroup of HI. So HI plus 1 is HI dash, and HI dash is a subset of GI dash, because by assumption HI is a subset of GI. So trivially then HI dash is a subset of GI dash. So thus we got HI dash subset of GI dash by this assumption, and GI dash, the commutative subgroup of GI, that is denoted as GI plus 1. Thus we have got HI plus 1 subset of GI plus 1. So true for I plus 1 this result is. Hence by induction HI subset of GI for all I. Therefore by induction this result is true for all natural numbers I. Since G is solvable, we have taken G is solvable and we have to prove the subgroup H is solvable. So since G is solvable by lemma G19, lemma G19 states that G is solvable if and only if G raised to n is equal to Z1 for some n. So we have G raised to n is equal to Z1 for some n. And by our inductive hypothesis, HI subset of G. So we have Hn is a subset of Gn, and this Gn is equal to Z1. Thus we have got Hn is equal to Z1. Because from this step we have got Hn is a subset of Gn, that is equal to Z1. That means Hn is a subset of Z1. And we know that Z1 is all, H is a subgroup, Hn is some subgroup of G. So that's why Zn is always contained in Hn. So hence we have got Hn is equal to Z1. Then by lemma G19, solvable if and only if G raised to n is equal to Z1. So here we have got H raised to n is equal to Z1. Therefore by lemma G19, H is solvable. Okay. Next we prove every quotient group of G is solvable. For that, first we take a surjective homomorphism. Surjective means onto. Let phi from G to K be a surjective homomorphism. Then we take a commutator element in K. UV, U inverse, V inverse is a commutator in K. And choose X, Y element of G. And since this phi is onto, corresponding to this U and V, we can find an X and Y in G such that phi of X is equal to U, phi of Y is equal to V. Since X and Y element of G, X, Y, X inverse, Y inverse is a commutator element in G. So it is an element in G dash. So let us look what is the image of this element under phi. So phi of X, Y, X inverse, Y inverse can be written as phi of X, phi of Y, phi of X inverse, phi of Y inverse, since phi is a homomorphism. And that is equal to phi of X, phi of Y into phi of X inverse can be written as phi of X the whole inverse, since phi is a homomorphism. So phi of Y inverse can be written as phi of Y the whole inverse, and phi of X is U, phi of Y is V. Substituting that we get UV, U inverse, V inverse. So that is an element in K, because we have taken UV, U inverse is a commutator in K. So thus the image of an element in G dash is an element in K dash. So like that we have got phi of G dash is equal to K dash. So phi of G dash is equal to K dash. Now using this we prove by induction that phi of G raised to I is equal to K raised to I for all I. Okay. Let us check for I is equal to 0. Let I is equal to 0, then phi of G naught is, and G naught is G itself. So phi of G, and phi of G is equal to K. Since phi is onto, we have taken phi as a surjective homomorphism. Since it is surjective, phi of G is K itself. So here phi of G is equal to K, and this K is written as K raised to 0. So thus we have got phi of G naught is equal to K naught. So the result is true for I is equal to 0. Suppose that the result is true for I. So phi of G raised to I is equal to K raised to I. Next we prove the result is true for I plus 1. phi of g raised to I plus 1. G raised to I plus 1 is ga dash. So that is equal to phi of ga dash. And phi of ga dash is ka dash. Since we have proved that phi of g dash is equal to k dash. In place of, so since phi of g dash is equal to k dash, in place of g, if ga is given, then phi of ga dash is ka dash. So from this result, we can write phi of ga dash is equal to ka dash, and this ka dash is k raised to I plus 1 by the inductive definition of commutator subgroup. So the result is true for I plus 1. Hence, by induction, phi of g raised to I is equal to k raised to I for all I. Since G is solvable, okay, we are given a solvable group G, we have to prove the quotient group is solvable. Since G is solvable, by lemma G19, we have G raised to n is equal to Z1 for some n. Now, phi of G raised to n is equal to G raised to n is Z1. So, phi of G raised to n is phi of Z1. The image of 1 is always, identity element is always the identity element. So, image of Z1 is Z1 itself. But by induction result, we have phi of g raised to n is equal to k raised to n. We have phi of g raised to I is equal to k raised to I. So for n, is true for all I. So phi of g raised to n is k raised to n. Okay. So from this, we have got phi of g raised to n is equal to Z1, and here we have got phi of g raised to n is equal to k raised to n. Hence, this k raised to n is equal to Z1. And by lemma G19, then k is solvable. By lemma G19, g is solvable if and only if g raised to n is equal to Z1. Here k raised to n is equal to Z1. So by lemma G19, we have k is solvable. So we have got, so we had taken, in order to prove every quotient group of G is solvable, we have taken a surjective homomorphism phi from G to K. Then we have got this K is solvable. So we have got K is solvable. So we are taking K as G by N, where N is a normal subgroup of G. So K is a factor group of G by N, that is a factor group of G, where N is a normal subgroup of G. And we have taken phi as the natural map G to G by N. Okay, the natural map that maps an element, small g element of capital G to phi of G to Gn. So this natural map is a home, and we have already seen this natural map in the previous theorems. This natural map is onto which is an surjective homomorphism onto homomorphism. So we have proved if phi from G to K is a surjective homomorphism, then K is solvable. So G to G by N is a surjective homomorphism. Hence, by this result, we have K is solvable, that is G by N is solvable. So the factor group of G is solvable. So in order to prove the factor group is solvable, we are taking a surjective homomorphism phi from G to K. Then we have got K is solvable. Then we consider the natural map G to G by N. And this natural map, by saying it is a natural map, then it is clear that it is a surjective homomorphism. Then so we will get this G by N is solvable.